80 to 1, the longest priced horse in the field. Peggy Ann, a stablemate of Claire O'Sullivan, is not running. Okay, that's Simpose in centre screen now. Brian York, the rider, and behind him is the mare, Let's Hurry, with the white blaze. Let's Hurry will get back a bit, but she'll rattle home, and she likes Randwick. Shane, you over there behind the barrier? What's caught your eye, son? Shane, can you hear me, old mate? No, Shane's there having a picnic over there. Obviously, we've got an audio problem. He's on a transistor mic and he's having a breather. He might be getting tired riding these ponies around. Okay, that's Claire O'Sullivan there in centre screen, TAB number 4. Remember 2 years ago when he looked home in the Golden Slipper and, well, he just got run down by Burst. And who rode Burst? That guy over there who I was just talking about, Raymond Shane Dye. Right, Let's Hurry again. She must be photogenic. She keeps trying to go past. One of her owners, Mrs. Diane Brown, has brought her two-month-old twin boys out to Randwick today as a lucky charm, and they're right here in the middle of the saddling paddock. So I'm sure the kids will get an extra bottle of milk if the mare Let's Hurry is first home. That's Jetball over there in the white with the purple sleeves, trained by Jack Denham. There's Shane Dye. Can you hear me yet, Shane? No, I think we've got a little bit of an audio problem there with Shane, which is not all that surprising. Okay, now someone's trying to tell me something. Oakbank. We're going to show you today one of the most exciting races in Australia, the Great Eastern Steeplechase at Oakbank. And that was scheduled to start at 3:55 Sydney time. It's now been put back to 4 o'clock. So there's no hope of us missing that. We'll have the Galaxy and then we'll cross to Oakbank. And oh boy, it's such a tricky course. They need a couple of different callers to call the field through the race. So you'll really enjoy that. Right, that's Big Dreams there behind the barrier. Now, just near Big Dreams is Gitana, and I wonder if Simon O'Donnell's changed his mind.
Mate, I haven't. It's a Big Dream, but I think Gitana, I came here today to back this horse and fair dinkum. I haven't gone. I've looked sensational in the paddock. I also was very impressed with Claire O'Sullivan in the paddock. I thought he looked very well. If he comes back to form, he's got the class to win it as well.
Fatty told me you were looking more at the two-legged fillies than you were at the four-legged one.
Mate, yeah, I've had a good peek at those, to be honest, and there's some good stock out there. And it's a pity the yearling sales are on this week, and then there's not some of the other sales on as well, because I'd purchase a few if I possibly could.
I know you would, brother. I know you would. Enough of Simon O'Donnell. This is a family show racing. That's Gitana. And on that note, before we say anything a bit tricky, I reckon we should go up to a good family man, Johnny Tapp.
Righto, Ken. Yes, the Galaxy coming up and runners are about to be called in. Just looking at Brawny Spirit, he is an absolute kid's pony. I was at a pony club function yesterday afternoon and I saw plenty of kids' ponies bigger than Brawny Spirit. Harry White is the rider. Harry had a long association with Brawny Spirit in Melbourne. Didn't ride him when he won at Rose Hill in the Moe Shondon Stakes on March 26, Golden Slipper Day. Larry Olsen was the rider there and would have been on him again today had it not been for a freakish accident at Canterbury last Wednesday when he broke a couple of bones in his foot. Now, we just had the phone there. Is that the stewards? What's the problem?
I want a vet inspection, but he's past fit to run.
Oh, wonder what happened. We've been advised that Claire O'Sullivan had to undergo a quick veterinary check when he arrived at the starting point, and he's been declared fully fit to take his place in the field. Claire O'Sullivan vetted at the starting point and has been declared fully fit to run. He might have given himself a bump on one of the posts as he went out onto the track. That happens occasionally, and it's just a matter of course for the vet to have a last-minute look, and that's fair enough too. Now, Slight Chance has moved in and stands nicely. Kiliad is now being led forward. Good to see Slight Chance back. She's one of the best race mares of recent years. Little thing, in fact, she's not much bigger than Brawny Spirit. She's got a great record, 10 wins, 9 placings, and her prize money tally is close to 1.7 million. She ran in the Melbourne Cup, believe it or not, her last start, and finished 20th of 24 in the Melbourne Cup, beaten 21.5 lengths. And she was a very tired little mare after that. And this is her first run back. Now waiting for Giant Slide to come up. Royal Discard and Brawny Spirit face up squarely. And here's the starter, Bill Cooper, heading over to the rostrum as Giant Slide goes up to complete the line, and they look to be about ready. Simpose faces up well for the Ansett Australia Galaxy. Starter takes a close look down the line. He's happy with them. One or two of the riders calling out, but they're off now in the Galaxy. Big Dreams wide out as one of the first out. Giant Slide quickly into stride. Royal Discard going quickly, so is Stormy Regent. And Little Brawny Spirit is now scooting along the rail, and he's going to lead on his ear. Brawny Spirit goes to the lead over Stormy Regent, and Simpose on the outside makes a line of three. Rather Giant Slide up there, three deep. A length away Royal Discard, then Simpose and Jet Ball, followed by Big Dreams. Right out off the track is Ken Vane. Out with her is Let's Hurry as they come to the turn, and then Kiliad and well back Sublimate. Clan O'Sullivan. Katana's about second last on the turn, and Slight Chances a mile back. Straightening up and Brawny Spirit the leader over Stormy Regent with Giant Slide three deep. Off the track Jet Ball. On the fence coming over the rise then is Simpose. Right behind those Kiliad, followed by Royal Discard as they top the hill. There are plenty of chances. Brawny Spirit just the leader. Simpose getting the rails run wider out. Jet Ball. Royal Discard is now coming through in the middle. Brawny Spirit just the leader. Jet Ball is thundering down the outside. He's got him. Jet Ball takes the lead close to home, and the Doncaster jockey Gavin Eads wins another one as Jet Ball races away to beat Brawny Spirit with Simpose third. Close up Royal Discard, Sublimate, Clan O'Sullivan a good run, then Big Dream, Slight Chance, Katana. Further back came Kiliad, followed by Giant Slide, and then Ken Vane and Stormy Regent, and last of all in the Galaxy is Let's Hurry, who did anything but. The winner, Jet Ball, Gavin Eads. Number 10, Jet Ball, Gavin Eads, pays $16 and $4.60. Number 9, second, Brawny Spirit, to pay $2.30. And 13, Simpose, third, to pay $3.10. G. Eads again, Ken.
Isn't it marvellous, John? It's absolutely marvellous. He thought on Saturday, Gavin Eads rode his first Group 1 winner when he won the Doncaster. Now on Monday he's ridden his second Group 1 winner when he's won the Galaxy. Now on the home turn, Brawny Spirit on the inside in the purple and bright green colours. Stormy Regent outside him. Giant Slide in the pink colours, three deep. Now there's Jet Ball outside him. Now watch the horse just a half length behind him in pink inside him, Kiliad. He was trying to push through. Gavin Eads said, no you don't boy, you get back in there behind, and kept him there, then shot away on Jet Ball, quickly picked up Brawny Spirit. And the only surprising thing about the race, probably, was how decisive a victory it was. Jet Ball absolutely bolted in from Brawny Spirit, with Simpose right over on the rails in third place. Geez, he's riding in dashing form, Eads. As I said, his first Group 1 winner on Saturday, now his second Group 1 winner today. I wonder if Shane Dyes picked up Gavin Eads over the side there yet. Shane, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, Ken. I've got Gavin Eads here. Well, Gav, you said to me before if you won another Group 1 race, there'd be a dance. Like on Saturday, is there going to be a dance?
No, I told you, only at Flemington, mate.
Did you have a good run in the running?
I had a lovely run. Actually, I don't know what horse I followed, but I had a lovely run. I was always going to win when I straightened, and my only worry was getting the front too soon, but...
It must be a great thrill to ride a winner or a Group 1 winner for Mr. Jack Denham, who hasn't had a lot of luck lately.
Well, mate, the horses are so fit, Jack's horses, and as well as Tommy Smith's horses. They're just that fit. You know, they just win, don't they?
They certainly do. Well, congratulations, Gav, and I'm sure you'll celebrate again tonight with another Group 1 success like you did on Saturday night.
Thanks, Shane. Thanks a lot, mate.
Bye-bye.
And I might point out that Gavin's mother, Margaret, flew up from Melbourne on Sunday, and Margaret's here today, and great to see her here to see Gavin ride this fine sprinter, Jet Ball, who incidentally is going to go to stud in New Zealand, probably in the spring of this year. He's been sold to a New Zealand stud, and at the moment is raced jointly by Mr. and Mrs. Jeff White and Tewkesbury Thoroughbreds Proprietary Limited Syndicate and the Fell Brothers, and he's going to the stud of the Fell Brothers in New Zealand. He's a son of Masquet, and Masquet by Biscay by Star Kingdom, and that's the most prized blood in racing, and I'm sure Jet Ball, the magnificent individual, will do very, very well at stud. Gavin Eads gives him a pat. Well, he might. Dick Robert, the Randwick track manager, puts the lead on Jet Ball for the Winning Connections to lead him back here, and I just wonder how excited Gavin will be. There's the finger for one again. Yeah, you've run first, boy. No one can take that off you here now, and there'll be certainly no protest against you in this race. $16 to win. That's a nice dividend for Jet Ball. A pretty good sprinter. Before today, Jet Ball had already won $294,000. Well, another 250 odd today. He's up to about 550. And I think the figure he was sold for recently was 400,000. So he's been a great investment for his original owners, the Whites. And there's Gavin Eads yelling out to the crowd. He's become a popular figure overnight after his antics on Saturday. And I'm sure we keep the camera on Gavin. There he goes. he knows how to win, and that's what it's all about. There's no prizes for second, Gav. Coming back with the clerk of the course, I don't think he'll do a jig like Saturday. It was so spontaneous on Saturday. I think he settled down a bit over the weekend. Fancy picking Gavin Eads to ride 2 Group 1 winners. He sure got the ability, I can tell you that. No one rides any better. I said in this morning's Telegraph Mirror in my column here in Sydney, he's got the ability to be right up there with Cassidy, Dittman and Moses, and I take nothing back. He showed that here today on Jetball. I see Anne-Marie Sparkman milling over there with the owners and the trainers. Anne-Marie, over to you.
Absolute thrill.
Great thrill to win a race like this. We actually bought him in November to go start in New Zealand.
Your biggest thrill in racing?
I would say so, yeah, much.
And when did you expect him to win during the race? When did you start getting excited?
About a furlong out, I could see they weren't going to get near him. We were a little bit worried about the track, but he handled it well.
And what was your first reaction?
Oh, just we're thrilled about it. It's made a great difference to probably the stud value back in New Zealand.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and just walking past me is Gavin Eads. Big smile for the cameras, Gav. He nods his head. He's pretty happy. Goes into weigh in. There'll be no problems there. And Gavin Eads, the jockey of the moment, the jockey of the Randwick Easter Carnival 1994. Looks a bit worn out, doesn't he? Mate, there'll be plenty of money there to help you recuperate. Yes, he's weighed. He's made correct weight. No problem there. There's Grant Cooksley. He rode Clan O'Sullivan, who I think was one of the also Wrens, but finished about 5th or 6th. Harry White on the second horse, Brawny Spirit. Harry, great ambassador racing. Harry's about 50 years of age now, but he hasn't lost anything. And there's Simpose. Simpose's jockey, Brian York, who finished 3rd. They've all weighed in, so why don't we have a look at the TAB prices now. We're about to go to Adelaide in a few moments for the running of the Grand Annual Steeplechase at Oakbank. And if you've never seen this race before, truly, you stand by and watch it. Let's have a quick peg at the totes. Few scratchings here, few horses struck trouble there on Saturday. The top 3, Newsbeat, Touch Judge and Squire John are out. King's Table is a 13-2 chance. Chantry Rise and Jet Power are both out. Tyrolia, trained by Johnny Wheeler, the man who trained Rough Habit and for a lot of his career, Viander Cross. He's brought this horse over to Oakbank. It's a 6-4 favourite, Tyrolia. A Kiwi, be worth watching him. Blancheval is a scratching. Cincinnati Gold is at 12-1. Grosvenor Bay, second favourite at 5-2. Gypsy Row and Hobick are both 50-1 shots. Merrymaker at 20-1. Shay Time at 20s. Swinging Nippy at 20-1. Vristat 33-1, and Tough Tom, I wonder who that's named after. Tough Tom is a 50-1 chance. The race is 4,950 metres. That's more than 3 miles. They're starting to go into the barrier. I hope they all finish. It's a very long race. They go up and downhill. They go over many, many jumps or steeples, not hurdles, with the brush at the top. And, well, it's a bit like the man from Snowy River. The best horseman has his day in a race like this, but he does need, of course, the right netty underneath him. The favourite, as we told you, is Tyrolia, trained at Cambridge in New Zealand by John Wheeler. John's had all the champs like Rough Habit and Viander Cross, and now here he is with a steeplechase. He brought a chaser over last year to Oakbank and won the race, got a great thrill, and I think it's his plan to try and bring one over every year. Righto, well, the men in Adelaide know a lot more about this race than I do. There's the favourite, incidentally, Tyrolia. So at this point, let me switch over to our team at Oakbank in South Australia.
Hobick about to join them. And the Super Tab favourite, Tyrolia, is last. Stand by for a start. Foodland, Great Eastern Steeple. They're set. They're on their way. And a tidy dispatch it was to Shay Time, one of the best into stride from Cincinnati Gold as they draw towards the first of the big timber. Moving up over on the outside now is Tyrolia, and just in behind those then as they clear that next fence, the first fence there. Over on the inside was Vrystart. Moving up just behind those then came King's Table. About a length and a half further back to Merrymaker, followed then by Hobick as they go over the second one. Hobick went a little bit deep on it, and back along the inside Grosvenor Bay, and then came Gypsy Row with those. Tough Tom Tom was there, and Swinging Nippy was actually last of all as they rise up the hill over the Shillabee Road jump, and they're working towards the famous Fallen Log in the first of 3 circuits of the Foodland Great Eastern Steeple of 1994, and bowling along to the log now, and up and over they go, and the leader Vrystart, 1 of 3 from the Lindsay Morris Yarra Glen stable, led now from Cincinnati Gold and Shay Time. About 3 lengths further back in the field, just behind them, travelling up nicely, was Tyrolia. Then Merry Maker followed further back in the field. Behind those then on the inside by King's Table, 4 or 5 lengths Gypsy Row, Hobeck. Further back then as they jumped the last along the back, Grosvenor Bay biding its time. Swimming Nicky's made some ground around them, and back to the tail of the field now in the all-white colours is Tough Tom. Here they come downhill, and they're on the side of the first of the downhill double, and Cincinnati Gold let go at that, and he almost joined the leader, where it's Vrystart over the second of the double, and they're jumping nicely. Vrystart led by about a length to Cincinnati Gold. Third placing Shay Time, fourth placing Merry Maker, and then came Tyrolia close handy. So is the stablemate King's Table. A length further back to Gypsy Row. The rider working against it at the moment is Fired Up. On the outside, Swinging Nippy. 3 lengths further back in the field to Hobeck, and they were followed then by Grosvenor Bay at the tail, and about 6 lengths away, not travelling all that well in the early part of the race, in the all-white at the tail of the field is Tough Tom. There's round 1 completed, and leading out of the straight with a good break at the moment, Vrystart. And Vrystart shows the way about 9 lengths in front of Shay Time, shaded by Cincinnati Gold. They've completed a lap. Further back behind those on the inside, Merry Maker from Tyrolia. And then about 5 lengths further back, King's Table, Gypsy Row, Swinging Nippy, Hobeck, followed further back as they go over what was the first in the first round by Grosvenor Bay, who went over that a little awkwardly. And about 6 or 7 last of all at the tail of the field as they string out now is Tough Tom. Working towards the Shillabee Road jump, and the leader is still going well, Vrystart, about 15 lengths to Shay Time, and he went across the road, crossing clear of Shay Time second. Back in third placing Cincinnati Gold. Over on the inside of those was Merry Maker, running a nice race. So is Tyrolia. He's about to be felt for. About 3 or 4 then to King's Table as they go to the log again. Well back Gypsy Row, followed by Grosvenor Bay being popped a question. Swinging Nippy, Hobeck, and last Tough Tom. Along the back to the next fence they travel now, and Vrystart coming back a little to Tyrolia, who goes up to be second. Oh, Vrystart walked through that. Now Tyrolia's gone up to be second on the outside of Shay Time. 3 lengths away to Cincinnati Gold as they go to the last along the back, and then Merry Maker running a nice even race, and further back King's Table likewise. 2 to Grosvenor Bay. Now he's made up about 6 lengths in the last 400 or 500 metres. 2 lengths to Swinging Nippy, followed 3 off then by Gypsy Row. And then another 4 lengths to Hobeck, and Tough Tom has lost further ground down the hill over the first of the double to the second of the double, and Vrystart making every post a winner. And he's a lap and a quarter from home at the moment. He's out about 6 in front now, Tyrolia. Third Shay Time, Cincinnati Gold, followed then by Merry Maker. Back in behind those over on the outside was Grosvenor Bay, sneaking into the race nicely as they take the sole fence in the straight now with just over a lap to go. Back on the inside with them, King's Table, followed then by Swinging Nippy, and then Gypsy Row, followed by Hobeck, and about 5 away at the tail of the field, Tough Tom, but he's made a bit of ground. Down to the post, 1 lap to go in the Foodland Great Eastern Steeple of 1994. This is Oakbank on Easter Monday, and it's Vrystart, still the lamplighter. He shows the way out of the straight, about 4 in front. Tyrolia getting closer. Swinging Nippy's gone right around the field with a great burst to be third. Back in behind them, close handy, the local hope, Shay Time and Cincinnati Gold, and then Merry Maker still there. They're packing up from King's Table. Further back then came, making good ground, Grosvenor Bay, getting away from Gypsy Row, followed back behind those then by second last now Tough Tom, and Hobeck's back to the tail, working towards the Shillabee Road jump again, and they're gaining ground on the lead of Vrystart. They've grabbed him, and now Tyrolia went to the front from Swinging Nippy, and they show out now from in third placing Merry Maker. King's Table is there, then Grosvenor Bay. Further back in the field behind them, Cincinnati Gold and Gypsy Row. Forget the others. Shay Times dropped right out. So too as they go towards the log. In fact, he's been pulled up. Was Tough Tom, and Hobeck was last of all, but along the back they go, and Tyrolia 3 to Swinging Nippy. The Meredith Victoria trained horses run a bold race. He's got a bit closer over that fence. In third placing King's Table from Grosvenor Bay coming now. Further back then to Merry Maker, followed by Gypsy Row, and then a break to Cincinnati Gold, who won't get the trip, but downhill they've got 3 more fences to go over in the Foodland Great Eastern Steeple of 94, and the leader Tyrolia, 1 of the 2 in the race for John Wheeler. 2 in front, King's Table, the stablemate, comes at him solidly now, and on the outside Swinging Nippy over the second of the double. The second last on those, the only casualty, Merry Maker. Merrymaker came down, but the leader, Tyrolia, King's Tables, wants him for dear life. And on the outside, Swinging Nippy's running a big race. Tyrolia in front. Merrymaker, the fallen horse, got to his feet and the jockey's conscious. Over the last, Tyrolia finding something, a length and a half in front of Swinging Nippy. 3 lengths away behind them on the inside. Battling up that minor issue is the other one, King's Table, but Tyrolia the favourite, too good. And a brilliant ride, a brilliant win by Tyrolia in the Great Eastern Steeple for Foodland. Second, Swinging Nippy, King's Table. John Wheeler, I think, has got first and third. A break then to Grosvenor Bay, fourth, followed by Gypsy Row. The riderless horse, Merrymaker, up on his feet, chases them home with Cincinnati Gold. Shaytime has been pulled up out of the event, and one of the most incident-free big steeplechase race that you wish to see anywhere in the world, and a tremendous winning performance by the John Wheeler trained Tyrolia to give him the feature jumping double, the Yalumba Classic Hurdle and the Foodland Great Eastern Steeple. It'll be 7, 15 and 4 as we await confirmation of placings.
Back then is Hoodlum, followed by Frontier Boy and Sir Richard and Provoked, then Scardees. Further back in the field then would be Marabou's Phantom, Minyara's Boy, and last of all is Delmar.
Double in Melbourne, I'm sorry. Was it certainly a triumph for John Wheeler at Oakbank. The Cambridge, New Zealand trainer, his horses have run 1-3 in New Zealand. Okay, we'll try and pick up the result of that Melbourne race for you. They clashed, I think it was a 5-minute break between Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. So we had a little bit of a problem there. Sorry about that. They're finished at Caulfield, the second leg of the double. Dendy Park was particularly well back there, but the placings, I'm told, were 3, 9 and 14. Dendy Park first. Number 9, On Kylie's Run, was second, and number 14, Marillion Strike, third. 3, 9 and 14 in that race at Caulfield, the second leg of the double. On that note, time for another break and then back with more racing. Race 7 coming up at Randwick on today's edition of the Wide World of Sports.
I got what you want. Take all the money to turn you on. I got what you need. Come on, baby, take a chance on me. I got what you want. Take all the diamonds and turn.
9:30 Thursday.
Welcome back to Royal Randwick. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. Emancipation was a brilliant grey mare who recorded 19 wins from 28 starts and won the hearts of Sydney and Melbourne racegoers during the early 80s. Ken Callender has a market on race 7, the Emancipation Stakes.
Thanks very much, Max, and I've just got word from John Rouse, the Chief Executive for the AJC. Today's crowd is 24,000 plus, which I'm sure is great news for the club. Okay, the prices on the Emancipation. Cap Chat is scratched, not related at 7 to 2, 3.5 to 1. Lady Cimarosa is a scratching. Antwerp at 8 to 1. Ladies Way at 25 to 1. Lovey at 8 to 1. Never Say at 7 to 1. Now, I know we haven't seen the cerise colours of the... although she mightn't race in the Cerise Osmart today because her stablemate Antwerp probably is, but I'm going to put my money on Osmart anyway. Ridden by Mick Dittman, one of the Jack and Bob Ingham team from the Crown Lodge stables at Warwick Farm. She's favourite on the tote at about, she's getting out now to about the same price as Not Related, about 7 to 2. Balmaressa at 7 to 1, Hysterical 25s at 12.20. Baldine is a scratching, 12 Pop Stream, 20 Futile. Amazing Hit at 100 to 1. Plan Not in Honoré de Balzac is scratched. Down Under Girl, well, she's down under at the bottom of the prices at 100 to 1. Fatty, I'm on Osmart, and I reckon she might rattle home right over the top of these.
Oh, you're pretty smart being on Osmart, apparently, Kenny, but I'm going to tip a horse that we are pretty hysterical at the moment because we haven't tipped a winner all day. I'm sticking with number 10, Hysterical, to be ridden by Lance O'Sullivan, the Kiwi jockey. Loves the mile here at Randwick, so I think it'll be Storming Home. Simon.
Kenny, I know we're unbeaten. If you can't beat them, join them. I'm with you on number 8, Osmart. I hope I don't slow it on you, son.
You're kidding, are you? Of course you will. Back to you.
Oh, guys with absolutely no confidence at all. Time now to take you to country Victoria for one of Australia's great sporting traditions. It's an event that attracts the nation's best professional sprinters to participate in our most famous foot race, the Stawell Easter Gift.
Let's go to the exciting semi-finals from today's, the 6 semi-finals of the hard-held Stawell Gift, and we'll pick them up. The first one as we roll the tape, and we'll ask Chris Perry to comment on the first heat.
Yes, well, this is the one with the Raging Gift favourite in Michael Burke in the yellow. He's got Brad Carter in the green, and you can see that's about halfway where they are now. Burke's just drawing alongside Carter. Very smooth, very rhythmic action. Ferber in the red is trying to make ground, but Michael Burke, he's run 11.94 and he's won that quite comfortably. He's won that by about a metre and a half to Craig Ferber. Great run by Craig Ferber.
And away they go.
Second semi-final.
Well, this is the one where we had to watch Nick Rodda. And he went down in the blue jacket and took charge of the race halfway down. And you can see him spread eagle the field here. Got a beautiful action, this fellow. Big, tall fellow, wonderful knee action. Look, high arms, goes to the tape. A very comfortable winner.
12.01 for Nick Rodda. Third semi-final. We look for Andrew McManus in the red jacket. You can see that he's still a long way behind. Brendan Boyle out in the pink jacket. He is still there. He has run a phenomenal race. The pre-race favourite in this semi was Martin in the blue. But here comes Andrew McManus. He always does his best work at the last 20 or 30 metres. And you can see he's just got up there in the last few strides and run a 12.21.
The fourth semi was the front marker of Vin Cavallo in the pink, who was quick off the blocks, and he's got that ungainly looking arm action, but very, very long stride, and he spread eagled the field again by the 70-metre mark. He's got them all sort of boxing on. He's got no one else in front of him. He's just pumping his arms, strode to the line, and he's hung on to win in a very, very impressive time of 12.08.
Fifth semi-final. We look for Rod Lewis in the blue. You can see the big, tall, powerful Rod Lewis. He's just gone upside Darren Paul. We look for Nick Ward. He's coming in the red, but Lewis, a little bit ungainly, a little bit, his action's not quite all together, but he's big and strong. He's a big lump of a lad, and he's got enormous power, and he's got 12.01 by about a metre and a half from Nick Ward. Good run from Nick Ward off 4 metres.
And the final semi-final of Steve Brimacombe, who was brilliant off the blocks to gather in this field and has got alongside with about 60 metres to go and has come in with a barnstorming finish to tip them all out and win his way into the Stall Gift final from scratch in the time of 12.32.
Steve Brimacombe, what a man. And of course, we will return to Stall a little later on for the final of that Easter gift. Right now, though, here's Kenny Callender with the latest market on race 7 at Randwick.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Maxie. Not a lot of changes. Cap Chat out, not related from Melbourne, still at 4.40, about 7-2. She's just favourite on the tote now. Lady Cimarosa is out. Antwerp still at 8-1. 25 ladies' way. 8's Lovey. You heard David Hayes say earlier, Lovey's going to be ridden back in the field today. Never Say, TAB number 7, getting out from about 7-1 to 7.5 to 1 or 15-2. Osmart, $4.60, 3.5 to 1. Balmaressa is at 7-1. Number 10, Hysterical, firm just a little bit. They must have known Fatty's on it. 25s into 20s. Geez, we'll hear a lot from him if it wins. Zatual, 20s into 16s. Baldine is out. Popstream, TAB number 13, is at 12-1. 20-1 Futile, then the Roughies. Amazing hit at 100-1, couple of scratchings, and 100-1 Down Under Girl. Scene is set for a very exciting race, due to run in about 8 minutes' time. Time now for a quick break, and then back with more racing from Royal Randwick.
On it.
Coming into race 7 now, the Emancipation Stakes. Great mare Emancipation, winner of 19 races, including a Doncaster as a 3-year-old filly. And the day she won that race, she was absolutely devastating. There are some handy mares involved in this, but certainly no Emancipations, Ken.
No, John, Emancipation had picked these up, carry them, and then spit them out. Oh, gee, she was a great mare. The day she won the Doncaster, I think she'd have beaten nearly anything. Great effort for a 3-year-old filly that day. Number 1, Cap Chat, is a scratching. Not related, is into 3-1. Clear-cut favourite on the tote, 3.90 as I see. Almost into 11-4. Lady Cimarosa is a scratching. Antwerp is at 8-1. Ladies' Way at 25. Lovey finished second to Not Related in Melbourne recently. She seems fair odds too at 8-1. Never Say now is out to 8-1. She's from Queensland, from the Gold Coast. Osmart will be racing in the black and white. Black with a white star and a white cap, while her stablemate Antwerp is in the cerise. She is out a fraction to about 3 3/4 to 1 or 15-4. The Gay Waterhouse runner, Balmaressa. Balmaressa is at 7-1. She's TAB number 9. Number 10, Hysterical, at 20-1. Number 11, Zatual, at 16-1. Baldine is a scratching. Popstream, the next horse. Popstream, Brian York, is a 12-1 chance. Futile is at TAB number 14, is at 20-1, almost out to 25-1 now. Craig Carmody riding Futile. Then the two roughies. Amazing hit at 100 to 1. Plan Not and Honore de Balzac. Gee, I only just got that out, didn't I? Honore de Balzac. It's a scratching. And Down Under Girl, the other roughie, is at 100 to 1. I'm going to have an interview here in about 10 seconds time, if we can, just before we go to the horses. Coming right down here now is the most popular lady in racing. I should correct that. Not the most popular lady in racing, but the most popular person in racing, and she, of course, is Gai Waterhouse. Gai, have you come down to earth after Saturday yet?
Well and truly, absolutely, Kenny. You don't get much time to stay up in the clouds in racing. You've got to get on with the next day's work.
And what about your dad? How excited was he?